It's time to go all-star racing here at the Homestead Miami Speedway as we have the 22 best drivers this season battling for one position, number one, to get that free chase berth. And on the pole with the best starting position, Taylor Brian Price at the 15, two's outside the 5 with Jeff Bright. Then third you have Jonathan Rains, fourth Derek Hamill, and Joe Jefferson rounds out the top 5. Then sixth you have Sebastian Kugelon, seventh is Stephen Taylor, and eighth you have Isaac Nichols, Alexander Rowe in ninth, and Danny Lloyd rounds out the top 10. They have the rest of the field with Trey Rainey and Patrick Smith. They have Code Luigi with that 42 paint scheme they won the championship with in Season 5 with Max Anderson, your points leader. They have Louis Jack Tabo and TJ Hanley in the 08, the Dodge, bringing out that Dodge for this all-star race. They have Cara Friesen and last season's champion Griffin Lynn, along with Jack Marshall and Jake Galloway. And then the two drivers that advanced through the Open, Johnny Gardner, the winner of the Open, with Riley Sampson finished second. They'll be starting in the last row though, so they'll have the most work to do to get up to the front. That is your sign lap for the all-star race here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's see who gets that chase spot after this starting command.
On behalf of the many great folks at Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, and MB&A, gentlemen, start your engines!
Business as usual today, buddy. All right, it's easy. Your seatbelt's a little tucked for you, buddy. You're ready to rock and roll. Buddy, be ready here now. Fill that thing out real good here for the first lap or so. Make sure you got a good feel for it.
It's time for 27 laps at Homestead. It's the third season in a row we've had the All-Star race at a different track. This time the Homestead Miami Speedway, which holds the last race of the season, and undoubtedly now the two most important races of the season. This one to get into the chase, and the last one to crown a champion. 27 laps, Taylor Brian Price on pole, Jeff Bright 2 is outside. Let's see who gets that chase spot into the restart zone. We go, and we're racing at Homestead. Already with that 3 and 4 wide racing going on, Taylor Brian Price will not hold that lead for long. Joe Jefferson started 5th in this race. He's already to the race lead by the time they exit turn number 4. And to the start-finish line they come. Into the wall for a few drivers there, but they keep it going straight. Joe Jefferson leads lap 1, but he has no help up top. All the help for Alexander Rowe. That leaves now Patrick Smith to the inside lane. He goes 3 wide to the race lead. Jonathan Rains, he needs this desperately. He's down about 39th, 40th in points. He's now going for the race lead. This could be big for him to get himself into the chase. Once again in the Gatorade Cup Series, 4 wide further back. Stephen Taylor up top. Cole Luigi, Trey Rainey in the middle, Max Anderson's down low. Nichols also in the middle of that. Jeff Bright's up there as well in the 5 car. Into the wall. Bright's going around the 5. He got a few others. Into the wall. Jake Galloway. Hanley goes around. Kukulon, Sampson, Carter, Friesen. And the yellow is out, and a few cars go spinning, and Jeff Bright's day is done. We got a few cars racing back now. Patrick Smith leads them, and they're 3 wide for a second. Alexander Rowe, Jonathan Rains, Joe Jefferson. Here comes Jack Marshall. Griffin Lynn has found his way through the madness. Yellow's out, as we're only completing lap number 3. It's going to be Patrick Smith back in front. He leads us back to the caution flag. Big crash, Jeff Bright tonight is done. Kukulon and Jake Galloway some pretty heavy damage. I don't know about Hanley. Derek Hamill still, I think he's letting a few cars by. Sampson's all torn up in the front end. Friesen, I don't know, he may have gotten away. But tough break for Jeff Bright and some others with heavy contact here as we wreck early on. Let's see how it occurred. Normally they can go 3 wide at Homestead. 4 wide though, that's pushing it. And you can see that right here with Stephen Taylor in the 31 up top with Jeff Bright in the 5 also up top. Third one gets into the wall, the 5 right on his bumper, and then kind of comes down, gets into Hanley right there, gets down to Galloway, and Kukulon just gets clipped there. An innocent bystander. Cara Friesen hits the 11. There's Sampson hitting the 08. Kukulon spins it down to the inside, and he just taps the inside wall a little bit. He should be all right. Jeff Bright's definitely out. Sampson definitely has a ton of damage. Jake Galloway's going to have a ton of damage. Hanley looks like has a ton of right side damage as well. So tough break for a lot of these drivers. Jeff Bright, the season number 2 champion of the series. Kukulon 2 wins in his rookie season. Hanley back in the All-Star race. Galloway, his first ever All-Star race. Friesen just in the middle of all of it. Sampson got in through the Open. It looks like his day might end early. Let's go on board with a few drivers. Jeff Bright in the 5 with our onboard camera here. Being the season number 2 champion of the series, and he's involved early. That's a tough break for Jeff, who's not really had a great season, and now adding this, and he's not going to get that free chase by. He's got to race his win, and it's not been a great season for Jeff, so he's got to be great from here on out. TJ Hanley has an onboard and also the visor cam, as he's the only all-star winner in the field. Right there, he got lifted up off the ground by the 810. I think that's the most damage you got. The 18 of Sampson hitting him is really the worst thing that happened. I don't see much front-end damage, but you never know. We'll go on board from the visor cam, see what Hanley saw through his eyes, and see if it's maybe worse from on board. You'll just have to see. I've seen cars race with worse than that, so we'll see how it goes for Hanley and some of the others that were involved. Jeff Bright's obviously done. But it's Patrick Smith leading the race. He leads back to the caution flag, and they'll stay out. And Patrick Smith trying to get to victory lane at Homestead to get his chase berth. He's leading right now the All-Star race. It'll be 20 laps to go once you get the restart. And Jeff Bright, the only retiree from that crash. The rest of the cars still left in it, some with damage. About 16th on up are the ones that escaped with minimal or no damage. So it'll be Patrick Smith leading on this restart with Luigi Octavo in second, Alex Zervo third, Jack Marshall fourth, and Jonathan Rains in fifth. Sampson without a hood back there. You can see him in the 18, restarting in 21st. Back to the restart zone for the 34, and we're back racing here at Homestead. It was a very slow restart. Some cars actually jumped low before the line, but if you don't pass before the line, it's all right. The 83 of Octavo right on the bumper. Smith looking to the inside race. They come off turn number 2, and down the backstretch. Some cars trying to find their way in line, trying to get that draft to get up to speed faster. Octavo to the inside, Rowe pushing the 34. Here comes Jonathan Rains on the 4. 72 splits to the middle lane. Rains gets the second as Octavo leads. Price, Joe Jefferson coming. A lot of these drivers needing this all-star win. In fact, the 2 SHR cars in this race probably going to need that all-star win. Jonathan Rains down around 4th in points. Joe Jefferson around 35th. So they could definitely use this win badly. Down the backstretch of their race. Side by side, Jonathan Rains and Octavo. And through 3 and 4, the 4 has it down low. Jonathan Rains clears. But here comes Taylor Brian Price. Here pulls her back to the front. From the state of Florida. He's going to go 3 wide middle now as Joe Jefferson looks low in the 41. They might go 4 wide for the race lead. Jack Marshall. A big move for that 22 car. And here comes Patrick Smith, fellow forward, trying to help that 22 out. Down the back stretch, they race 4 wide, still halfway down the back. Off into 3. Jonathan Rains up top. Octavo right underneath them. Marshall and Smith close and physical there. As the 4 of Rains pops the outside wall, the 22 somehow saves the car of Smith. And they keep it going straight. They're right now first and second. Here comes Nichols in the 48, pushing the 34 Smith to the race lead. Look at Rowe forcing a hole to the middle lane. And Bryce makes it 4 wide further back with Griffin, Lynn, and Cole Luigi, 2 Gatorade Cup Series champions. And Kukulon still in the middle of this, even though he spun out in that crash. He's up inside the top 10 now. He's making looking 5 wide. Hard racing at the front. Isaac Nichols leads the race. Griffin Lynn behind. And a whole knot of cars. See back there, some cars trying to get through the middle lane. The 42 of Coluigi trying to get clear. That 3 of Sebastian Kukulon. Johnny Gardner won the open to advance. Here he is in this front pack without damage. Griffin Lynn 3 wide to the bottom lane to get to the race lead. Or trying to at least. Still trying to get down there. Taylor Brian Price trying to get underneath that 7 car. Johnny Gardner, Dane Lloyd. The 43 up into the 3. Some great racing at the front, but it's very dangerous. One small mistake and the field will go with you, but this is what these drivers are going to do for an all-star win. Octavo all but pushing Nichols sideways off the corner, and they're 4 wide again for the race lead. And they're close and physical down the back into turn 3. Price gets clear. A little bit of a check up there as they're almost going 5 wide. Octavo and Nichols making some contact, and still contact further back. And Price has gotten away saying, "Get out of here." Look at the madness behind him. Now this is what we saw in the open. Johnny Gardner got out front, and with them bound for a second behind, he was able to pull away. Will something like that happen here? Or will they get single file, car get separated, and try and get their Carter Freeze, who was also involved in that crash with Kukla and some of the others. He's up inside the top 5 now, going for a second, but Trey Rainey, last race winner at Dover, trying to use his all-star berth to his advantage, trying to get into that chase. Meanwhile, the 15 level, he's seeing to keep battling, but here comes the 19, Dane Lloyd. Can he get clear? I think Lloyd is going to be clear as long as that 95 doesn't get a huge run. And now can these guys get lined up and try and run down that 15 car? Just half a lap could get them right up onto that 15 and buy him. Through 3 and 4, trading a little bit lower than Danny Lloyd's. Going to use it to his advantage. 4 wide again. Carter freezing up top. Octavio in the middle. And they're shuffling. Close racing. See Galway and Hanley just outside the draft. I think they are just a little bit slower. I'm not quite sure, though. Maybe they could get up to speed if they were to get another yellow and get up here. Well, I don't know if that's... Well, that could happen with how they've been racing, but you never know. Down the back, Nichols for a second, 3 wide. Price still out front leading. Marshall in the 22 down low. Alexander Rowe behind him. You have Patrick Smith in the middle. He's clear. Stephen Taylor. There's Rains, Kukulon, and some of the others. Now Derek Hamill, can he get clear of the 55 to get up there with his teammate? So 2 teammates right now running 1 to the 50 and the 55. And Derek Hamill's going to try and get away from that 3 wide behind for third. Try and get their battle with his teammate. Sampson is pretty far away. I don't know if he'll catch him. We still got 10 laps to go, though. So they could definitely run him down. So 2 teammates, Price and Hamill, run 1-2. They have Jack Marshall in third. Nichols fourth. 4 wide behind about everywhere. And you see just what a lap did. They cut it down in half already with that draft. They could definitely close in. Hamill could get right up under that 15 through 3 and 4. Down the backstretch. Marshall's clear for third. He could try and help Derek Hamill if he wants to, or he could try and get by him. Obviously, that 55 might not want to get up there and pass his teammate, but Hamill needs it more than Price, I would think. Price up inside the top 10 points. Hamill's nowhere near there. Nichols gets in the outside wall a little bit there as Marshall looks for second on Derek Hamill. Off into 1 and 2. Jack Marshall clears Hamill easily. Here comes Patrick Smith looking low on the 22 now. Danny Lloyd in the 19 coming as well. And you got some spread out behind. Alexander on the 17 trying to get underneath Derek Hamill. Stephen Taylor trying to run down these front few. Patrick Smith clears, but look at the run he has onto the 15. Price! Yeah, he can get up there, I think. That draft, big, and Smith's already onto the back of the 15 with 8 laps of racing to go in the All-Star race. Chase spot on the line, and the drivers know it. With how they've been racing, they know everything is on the line. Their seasons are on the line for some drivers here tonight. Now, some other drivers like maybe Octavo, Anderson, Rowe, Hanley, they know that they have a pretty good chance all but locked into the chase at this point in the season. They've had great seasons. They know that they don't need this. It'll just be nice. You can never be too safe in Gatorade Cup Series racing. Meanwhile, Patrick Smith has taken the race lead with Danny Lloyd following through in second. Alexander Rose up to third. Derek Hamill back up to fourth. Price back to fifth. Then the battle for sixth. Taylor and Jack Marshall side by side. And back there, eighth on back is a logjam. Trey Rainey, Griffin Lynn, Octavo, Friesen, Anderson, Rains, Jefferson, Luigi, Nichols. As up front, Danny Lloyd with the push from Alexander Rowe. Side by side with Patrick Smith. And could that be a finish? We'll see later here tonight. Lloyd led the lap. 6 to go. Here comes Derek Hamill looking low. 3 wide. That 55 car. 3 wide. Down the back. Does Taylor Brown Price make a 4 wide move? Or does he stay with that teammate in the 55? I think he'll stay with Hamill for now. But he's looking 4 wide. They're 4 wide for the race with 5 cars. And they keep it going straight. But the rest of the field closing in with this 4 wide that they're having. The big hole in the air that's being punched. 4 wide, some contact with 5 to go. Yellow and it would end. So some of these drivers might have to be careful if they're towards the back of the field. They don't want a caution flag to end it right now. Taylor Brian Price still trying to get by Patrick Smith. Derek Hamill still trying to help his teammate out. Octavo's joined the party. Carter Friesen, Taylor, Rainey, Anderson. There's Lynn in the 7. Last season's champion. 4 to go. Taylor Brown Price back out front of the 15 we saw. Once he got out front, no one was able to catch him. And if they keep bound for a second behind him again, he could try and pull away. But Octavo in the A3 is a fast car. Down the backstretch. He's been top 5 in points pretty much all season long. He can never be too safe here in the Gatorade Cup Series. And coming to 3 to go, he's looking inside that 15 off of 4. 3 laps of racing to go in the All-Star race. One of these drivers in this pack will lock themselves into the chase after 4.5 miles. And 3 cars pull away. Price leads. Octavo second. Hamill in third. Where does he go? Does he go with his teammate? Or does he go with the A3? Or does he split into the middle lane, find his own lane? Through 3 and 4, we're coming to see 2 laps to go. It's time to get yourself into the right position. 2 laps left in the All-Star race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Octavo leads. 2 teammates behind in second. Taylor Brian Price got a great run off the top. Hamill really slowing the bomb. Something might be wrong. That 55 is not accelerating at all. And now down the backstretch, he moves up to the middle lane. But it's allowed a few cars to get away. Coming to the white flag. It's going to be Octavo, it's going to be Price, it's going to be Smith, Rowe, or Friesen to lock themselves in. The 55 still backing up through the field. The white flag. Last lap, the 55 slow on the front stretch, and the 18 is ahead. Will they catch him? Octavo, Price are 1-2 and down the backstretch. The Poles there trying to get by the 83. Will we see a last lap pass into turn number 3? Price went high. Octavo blocks him. And off of 4. Luigi Octavo does not have a win this season. The top 10 points locked him into the All-Star race, and he'll win it again to the chase. It looked like it could have been maybe Hamill or his teammate, but the 55 with an issue split the pack, and Luigi Octavo blocks the 50 at the end to win the All-Star race and advance into the chase. As we look at the finishing results, as now the cars have finished, we'll accelerate there to see that it was Luigi Octavo with the race victory over Taylor Ryan Price, Patrick Smith, Friesen, Rowe, and the rest of the field. Yeah, the 55 had something go wrong there. He fell back to 9 seconds back at the white flag. That was only within 1 lap, so obviously something was wrong. And it definitely so up the 48, the 42, the 7, and some of the others. I'm sure they'll be pretty mad, but they're towards the back of the field. Don't know if they would have had a shot, but some of the drivers maybe up towards the front that got spread out. They definitely are going to be a little bit ticked off with what happened there. So now we know one of the 12 chasers, for the Gatorade Cup Series season number 7. Luigi Octavo was in the chase last season. He'll go back to the chase this season with a win in the All-Star race. Thank you guys for watching. Congratulations to Luigi Octavo. I'll see you guys at the Talladega Superspeedway for the Aaron's 499.